So we're glad to have the Advanced Portfolio students of Alamo Heights Junior School back at Spotlight this year. They are participating for the 5th time.
At first, we actually visited the museum, and the students got to see Georgia O'Keeffe's painting. Do what Georgia O'Keeffe did and draw attention to something that might be overlooked, something that maybe isn't considered beautiful, and focus all of our attention on that. They created their own composition in a way that would abstract the shadows so that they would look like an abstract work of art. The Spotlight project gives teachers an opportunity to focus on something that now is then going to have a tangible end to it. So not only are the students like learning about this and maybe making a work of art, but we can push the boundaries and go large scale, do an installation, make something outrageous, like artists are actually supposed to do.
Congratulations, Alamo Heights. So next we'd like to recognize Kimberly Villarreal's art students from Bradley Middle School.
I've been participating in the Spotlight program for 6 years now. This year the students did 4-inch by 4-inch charcoal and oil paintings, and they found something that they felt people didn't see closely or they felt inspired by, and they looked at it way up close and tried to paint it using the oil paints.
It's an ostrich egg.
2 halves of a flower.
The wind blowing through a bunch of grass showing the flower.
So I have a pig that turned into looking like a pig dog. My painting is my dog, and she looks like a potato. People think this is different, like they think this is a flower, but actually when you look up closely, it's actually a pine cone.
I think displaying them all together is going to make each one of them even more impressive for what it is.
All right, way to go, Bradley. And their little paintings are just hanging right there, over 100 of them. Also participating the first time is Briscoe Elementary.
Hi, my name is Alejandra Salas.
My name is Daniel DeCourcy.
And today we will be showing our artwork.
So the Spotlight project has been a huge part of our classroom, and even in their homeroom classrooms they have those posters up, and it's something that they're talking about and coming back to throughout the school year. I had heard from other teachers about what like a rich and exciting experience it was for the kids, and so I thought I need to get my kids on board with that. I kind of prompt them with challenges to get their brain going, and so for this challenge, the challenge was basically make artwork inspired by Georgia O'Keeffe, and whether they took that in a nature direction or in an abstract direction was kind of up to them.
So Brooks Oaks Academy is participating for the first year this year with teacher Sophia Niemeyer.
Okay, we're studying Georgia O'Keeffe. We're using cyanotype paper and making sun prints. At the beginning of the year, the students were looking at seashells and studying them and observing them very closely, and they made some watercolors of those seashells. I think my students really enjoy Spotlight because they get to see their work exhibited at the McNay, which is special to be next to masters, and just in that environment really elevates it from just in the hallway or in the classroom. I think that's extremely special.
Favorite part of our class is painting because you have smooth brush movements and you can paint it everywhere. But you gotta make sure it's pretty though. Brooks Oaks Academy!
So we're happy to have the students of Holy Cross of San Antonio taking part in Spotlight again with art teacher Hector Garza.
We are a few of the Holy Cross artists that wanted to present our art to you. We found a lot of inspiration in this project, and we're honored to be part of this, and we realize this is something great to do, and we hope you enjoy.
I keep doing Spotlight because it is a great opportunity for students to be creative, think outside of the box, and explore ideas that they probably didn't think about before. And it's not something easy, it's something challenging. So
A leaf that was sort of like starting to decay, and then I did another sort of like one with no leaves, and it's just this like
the backbone of the leaf.
It's an orchid that I found at my grandpa's house. Looking at Georgia O'Keeffe's work, it made me like look in depth on other things that not a lot of people would pay attention to, and that was basically what she did. I remember her saying something like, it isn't until we put a lot of emphasis into something that we fully know the meaning of it, and I feel like that isn't just representative on like art, and it's like a life lesson.
Right. Thank you, Holy Cross of San Antonio. Wonderful job. Our next school is Lavernia Intermediate.
Hi, I'm Renee Oliveris, and I'm from Lavernia Intermediate. We're kind of a hoof away from San Antonio, so I don't have anyone representing us. But I'd just like to say, if you've ever thought maybe doing this, it's a wonderful experience.
Thinking, and we know Georgia O'Keeffe is like, she likes flowers and petals and stuff like that. So we're thinking of having a flower on one side and having a quote on the other.
We are working on the quote that Georgia O'Keeffe said, and it's to create one's world in any of the arts takes courage. We each did a few squares how we wanted them to be, and like I did this one, and she had a colorful spirit.
Lavernia Intermediate! So another new school to spotlight this year is Memorial High School.
It's such a great experience every year that I have participated. I like exposing the kids to the McNay and the works that are there.
And I came across this orange rose that I really liked, so I did that. I kind of just sketched it like on the canvas and then I just started painting. I like blending colors, like to make certain shades. I think that's the funnest part. So like I think at the end I'll probably go back and add highlights or shadows and stuff.
Well, my teacher, she showed me a book, and then it had like the deer's skulls, and it had like this stuff, like paint on it, and it gave me an idea to do all of the flowers. The glassing. And then from there you put glue and just like put it there.
The idea for your project come from?
Mainly from the flowers perspective. How it doesn't really have a pattern, it's just unpredictable. Not really having like a certain way to do it, just using your imagination. No, the hardest part was finding out how each will look like the other but still look different. We're going to heat it up and I'm going to work on the glazing next.
Congratulations, Memorial High School. Mission Academy is pretty unusual because it's actually their theater arts students who participate in Spotlight with their teacher, Michael Niemeyer.
I'm Michael Niemeyer. I teach theater arts at Mission Academy, San Antonio School District. This will be our 4th year doing Spotlight. In theater arts, we're always trying to convey a picture. When we see a play, we want to see them show a picture from each scene. This is why it's relevant.
Oh, my favorite thing about Georgia O'Keeffe is the way that she like looks at something and she changes the scale, like the size, and she like either makes it bigger or makes it smaller.
There's a lot of things I can say about Georgia O'Keeffe. I like that she does a lot of detail with leaves. I like how she does the big scenery stuff.
Well, we were thinking of like doing like sets of pictures.
So like you don't need like words to explain it, you can just see by the visuals the way it goes through the story.
So River City Believers Academy is participating for the 4th year with art teacher Julie Ebarb.
What I love about Spotlight the most is the collaborative aspect. It is such a learning, rich unit of study for these kiddos.
Basically what we did is we took pantyhose and we covered it over big sticks, and then we covered it in what we call Mod Podge, which is glue and water, and then we painted it like navy blue and burgundy colors, and we painted like things that Georgia O'Keeffe loved to paint, which was like antlers, she loved the desert, she loved flowers.
I've been practicing the dance for every Friday. The costume is really nice. We all made it ourselves, and I think it's really pretty. Well, it's kind of like a story of like, it's like the leaf blowing in the wind, so it's kind of showing the leaf how it's delicate and still can move through the wind.
Creation.
Do we see it?
Do we hear it?
Do we feel it?
So our next school is Rome Forest Elementary, participating in Spotlight for the first time with gifted and talented teacher Lisa Watson and parent art volunteer Alessandra Herbert.
Hi, I'm Sophia Espinoza.
And I am Diego Espinoza.
And we are Miss Watson's 4th grade GT students from
Rome Forest Elementary. This is our Spotlight project, Georgia O'Keeffe's Backyard.
And so when I heard about Georgia O'Keeffe, I thought, I think I can paint, I can do any of that kind of stuff. And so when I went, I got really inspired, especially taking the pictures in the garden. And I had Mrs. Herbert, one of our wonderful parent volunteers here on campus, and she came with me, and we just kind of really got into it, really excited. And the whole process is just very organic. You know, you go in, you get educated, you bring the story to the kids, and then you take them back to the museum to see the story come to life through seeing her art, and then they just take over from there.
I loved the way that she saw the flowers, she saw the details and all the different colors.
I liked that she was able to find the beauty in all of those little details that most people don't look to see.
I like that she had the courage to become an artist when it was mainly men who were being artists.
Rome Forest Elementary!
All right, congratulations, Rome Forest. So Roosevelt has actually been involved in Spotlight for the past 4 years with Kendra Slaughter's painting classes at Roosevelt. They have over 50 leaf paintings on display downstairs. Last year, Selena Hinojosa, her pre-AP and sculpture students also joined the program, so they're participating for the second year. And now we also have Ruth Huey and Annabelle Hortons, so Art 1 and then Drawing 2 and 3 are also. So we have tons of Roosevelt responses.
Our project is called To Live by Her World. We are going to be painting like 60 small canvases.
It's a great opportunity for students to come out and get their artwork displayed in an environment that they're probably not used to.
We are using oil pastels and canola oil, and we're brushing the canola oil on top of the oil pastel. And this technique, it actually creates the illusion of an oil painting.
These drape mold bowls, so we used some plaster, and then they're going to be inspired by the painting when they do their glaze work. And then looking at the lines for Georgia O'Keeffe's work and the kind of fluidity about them as well.
I realized that Georgia O'Keeffe worked with leaves and nature and flowers, and the work itself was a very abstract version and kind of zoomed in version of leaves. But I know that if you zoom into leaves, that texture is kind of like bumps going in, and I love that texture. I wanted to incorporate that.
Great job, Roosevelt. Thank you. So our next school is St. Mary's Hall.
Our kids went outside with their one-to-one iPad, and they took pictures up close of all of the different things that they saw on our little walk.
When we went outside, we had iPads, and we were zooming in on all these different pictures of nature. And so, like, when you look at a pile of pollen and you zoom in, you can see every single tiny little grain.
They tweaked it with their iPad. They might have photoshopped it in some way. And then they started thinking about all of the books that we've been reading this year, all centered around the theme of immigration. A lot of the books were nonfiction based, but there were also a couple of other books that were fiction. And they wrote a poem based on that synthesis of their reading.
A jungle has beautiful trees and vines, and everything is green. But for me, I have a jungle of thoughts.
So the poem's tone mostly were fairly dark and desolate, a lot of alone, feeling alone, not feeling like they fit in.
Everybody is blooming like a blossom, but I don't. I stay gray. I fear of not fitting in. The endless needles stroke my back.
A lot of abstract thinking was going on. It was really neat to see a different aspect of their thinking than what we normally see in the classroom.
Great job, St. Mary's Hall. Thank you. So we're excited to have the Art Club students from Veterans Memorial High School and Judson ISD participating in Spotlight for the first time with art teacher Raynell Rodriguez. So
well, there's, an opportunity for the kids to work together and collaborate and come up with ideas together and do some brainstorming, higher order thinking. So that was what was appealing, and a chance for them to get out to the museum as well and learn about art elsewhere, not just in the classroom.
For my painting, I wanted to kind of reimagine like the waves and the colors and stuff and how they blend together on the original painting.
And another one of the students thought of bringing nature into the pictures, where we actually add some dried flowers to it as well. So we're going to do that at the very end.
how do you think the paintings will look all together?
Seeing them all now, it's pretty good.
Congratulations, Veterans Memorial. Vineyard Ranch is participating for the second year.
What our art program is more of an art appreciation program, so Spotlight is perfect for us. So we just, from the first day of school, we started talking about Georgia O'Keeffe and learning about Georgia O'Keeffe, and they liked learning about the life of Georgia O'Keeffe. Well, we just used the spotlight, and the only way I can describe it is if a pile of leaves and then the wind came. And that's what we all thought that was. But everyone, some of the kids saw bones and skulls, but most of them just saw leaves, like in the wind. So that was kind of fun.
I saw it and I thought that I'd rather have something close to it, but not exactly the same. I'm gonna add different colors instead of having the exact same colors.
They had fun with it. They loved the flowers, though, by far. And we have a couple skulls that are beautiful.
All right, great job, Vineyard Ranch. Thank you. It's the Winston School. So the upper school had participated in the past, but this is the first time we engage, I think, almost the entire lower school with art teacher Samantha Ostos.
Hi, I'm from the Winston School, and this is our video.
The name of our project is Arbol de Fuego.
We brainstormed and actually listed on the board all the different things we saw inside looking at the leaf motif. They immediately came up with the idea of a tree to go with the oak leaf tree, and then we started talking about, well, how do we make a tree? And they really started listening to each other. They started bouncing ideas off each other and getting excited as to how to construct it, what materials to use.
We used aluminum, we used copper. There's a squirrel in there as well.
So many ideas coming from the Spotlight piece. They all brought in a different piece of it.
You found the skull?
I found in my park.
The skull?
Yeah, in the
Whoa.
park. And it had been, we were hiking along a dirt trail and we just happened to stumble upon it.
It looks like your painting, or your sculpture that you're making, has a lot of the things that Georgia O'Keeffe liked to paint and to draw.
She really liked to paint skulls, a lot of skulls, and about the desert. It's called the Living Cactus Dead Skulls.
Great job, Winston. So we're excited to have the Young Women's Leadership Academy participating in Spotlight again under the leadership of art teacher Laura Schultz, and also with now her collaborator, biology teacher Rachel Guillen.
I'm Sabrina Arguello, and on behalf of all YWLA, I would like to thank the Spotlight for allowing us to come and present our work amongst other artists. We were able to incorporate our own artistic abilities and go above and beyond from what just Georgia did.
I'm Clarissa Garcia, and thanks to this wonderful opportunity, we were not only able to incorporate our creativity, but also science, thanks to the biology teacher there at YWLA, who taught us how everything in life can connect and how you can show and teach from different aspects of art.
Okay, this is my third year of being in the Spotlight exhibition with the McNay, and it's an opportunity for the girls to be at the museum. Maybe many of them have never really seen themselves as museum goers or, you know, participants in programs like that. And it's also an opportunity for the girls to start taking themselves seriously as artists and people who are creative. I sort of made it a personal mission when I came in here as a teacher to look actively for ways to collaborate with the core knowledge teachers. And we have been talking for a couple of years about how we could come together on a project. And this year when Spotlight announced they were going to do George O'Keeffe, I thought, that's it. Right there, the aha moment of look at things up close, it's about plants. I asked her if we could maybe collaborate this year, and she was all about that.
So we have a microscopic view of the stem or rod of a sunflower plant. And so it has all these different colors that we're incorporating that we have to make sure that we all match up. Well, first we blew up all of our individual pictures. We all got these, and we had to blow that up into a 5x5.
We traced it onto the muslin type of material we're using, and we have to match the colors with the threads that we're going to use. So we're threading it in and out the muslin to create the shapes and the colors.
We've been talking so much about abstraction in art class that it seemed like a real natural fit between those things, because when you pull, this is an abstraction, but when you pull away, you obviously have a beautiful flower.
All right, congratulations. Thank you all so much. I always love working with you. I admire you, you know, so much as educators, and I just think you're great people, and I'm happy to call you friends. So thank you again.